And my daughters, they get upset with me. They're like, Dad, don't go on stage and tell people things you don't know. They're like, if you don't know something, Google it. And that's, you know, that's the age they're growing up in. And to a point, they're right. I mean, when I was growing up, if you were watching TV and somebody said, what was that guy in? You'd go, man, he looks familiar. And that was it. Now you watch TV, somebody goes, what was that guy in? Somebody takes their phone and goes, he was the janitor on Joey. But I'm trying to explain to my kids, I said, yes, there's a ton of things you can Google, but you don't know yet. There's a ton of things you can't Google. There's things you only learn through life experience. I call them the facts of life, things you can't learn on Google. Like, fact of life. If you are trying to get to the bathroom in an emergency situation, it is not a wise idea to unbutton your pants in transit in the effort to save a couple of seconds, because the muscles that guard the floodgates will interpret the unbuttoning as the signal to abandon their post, and the 2 seconds you saved on the button are nullified by the hour and a half you spend mopping and doing laundry. Google won't tell you that. Fact of life. Out of all of the cereals, Captain Crunch is the most time intensive. You're like, Jeff, what are you talking about? This is it. You eat it too soon after you've poured the milk on, and you will rip the roof of your mouth to shreds. You wait too long after you poured the milk on, and the captain will put a film on your teeth a wire brush can't get rid of. Google won't tell you that. Fact of life. You can have a wife with long, beautiful hair, or you can be on time. Speaking of wives, fact of life. If your wife hints that she might be in the mood, your kids will sense it and won't go to bed for 3 years. Speaking of kids, fact of life. The more kids you have, the worse your parenting becomes. People that only have one child are making homemade baby food out of organic vegetables they're growing in their own backyard. You know, by the time that fourth child rolls around, you're smoking a cigarette while you watch your toddler pull a year-old milk dud out from under the stove and eat it. Pick the cat hair off of it before you put it in your mouth, dummy. And I miss my youth. I miss my young body. I would not trade my old mind and soul for it, but I do miss my young body. I remember being a little kid and having energy to burn. When was the last time you had excess energy you needed to burn off? But think about it, when you were a kid, you had so much energy, you couldn't watch TV just sitting in a chair. You had to stand on your head or be half on the chair and half off, and the commercial would come on and you'd wrestle with each other until the show came back. Hell, if you walked in my house now and you found me watching the TV with my butt on the sofa and my head on the floor, call 911. Because even if I am still alive, there's no way I'm going to be able to get back into a standing position by myself.
Because it's kind of always been my argument. The coolest thing about comedy, before I got into comedy, I'd never been anywhere in my life. And because of it, I've been to all 50 states, been to every part of all 50 states. And they always think in New York and LA that they know what we're like. The in-between. And I'm like, y'all have no idea. Because they didn't want to film the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. They were like, no, people won't get this. I said, yeah, they will, because I've been out there. They'll get it. And thank you, God, you do. I remember one time I was in a meeting in LA, and the guy, he had on like some kind of purple turtleneck and a velvet jacket, and he had his hair all gelled in a ponytail and had 2 big earrings, and he's looking at me and he said, Jeff, I know your people. I said, my people would beat the hell out of you. Then my manager told me later I shouldn't say that to people that are trying to get you to be on their TV show. But it is an honor to be here. When I was doing the thing with Larry, we were like hanging out in a little trailer kind of dressing room like that, and I was working on my Redneck Page a Day calendars, and Larry came in there and he said, how long you been doing them calendars? And I said, well, I did the first one in 1990, so 22 years. And he said, how do you keep coming up with redneck jokes? And I said, sadly, there's no research going on. It's pretty much my family and friends. So that being said, I had to start off tonight telling you this story. Several months ago, I got an invitation to my cousin Sherry's wedding in Alabama. And I got the feeling that it was a hurry-up wedding because the invitation was a fax. You might be a redneck. And at the bottom, somebody had written BYOLC, which we learned meant bring your own lawn chair, because they were getting married in Sherry's parents' backyard because apparently the OBGYN told them they didn't have 6 weeks to wait on the church. Well, my mom was at my house that day, and I started making jokes about it being a hurry-up wedding, and my mother got mad. My mother said, don't you dare say anything about Sherry. She is the sweetest girl alive. She never tells anybody no about anything. Pretty much that's why we're having to go to Alabama now. But my mama knows everything. I said, so Mama, how did she meet this guy? My mama said, they met in a laundromat. So you know right there it was anointed by God. She said, but Sherry needed change for the dryer, and this guy Dustin just came over and gave her half a roll of quarters, which I'm pretty sure then under Alabama law she was required to have sex with him. Well, my mom wants to go to the wedding, and my mother doesn't drive on the interstate anymore, and so she wants us to take her. And so I can't tell my mother no, and I'll go, all right, we'll go. Well, immediately my mom starts pitching for us to stay at my Uncle Ray and Aunt Tina's house. And I don't want to do that because I'm allergic to ferrets. And so I said to my mom, I said, Mom, why don't we just stop at the Motel 6 in Dothan, Alabama? And my mother said, and I quote, well, I don't want people thinking we're uppity. Which in my family is a possibility. One year at the family reunion, my brother brought 3 buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and all day people were like, what's up, Donald Trump? So at the risk of being uppity, we stopped at the Motel 6 in Dothan, Alabama. And if I had known that it was chili cook-off weekend in Dothan, I would have called ahead and made a reservation, because they only had 1 room available, and from the smell of it, some of the past chili cook-off winners had stayed there. But when the lady at the desk said 1 room, in my mind, I'm thinking 2 double beds. Well, we get to the room, and there's 1 queen-size bed for me, my wife, and my mother. And my wife's not happy because she knows she's in the middle. Because if I wake up spooning with the wrong person, it is going to take years of therapy to get me back right again. Well, you learn stuff when you're on the road. And that night we learned that the walls of the Motel 6 in Dothan, Alabama are apparently made out of toilet paper because the couple in the room next to us liked each other. A lot. And loudly. And me and my wife and my mother lay in that queen-size bed and listened to them like each other for an hour and a half. At which point my wife turned to me and said, you need to do something. I said, I'm about to walk next door and ask for his autograph. An hour and a half? It's 2 years' work for me. Well, the next morning we're getting ready and I hear them leaving their room. Well, I want to see them. Because when you listen to this, you have this mental image of what they look like. So I go and crack the door and peek out in the hall. I wish I had never done it. Oh, they were big uns. Big, I think half the moaning and groaning was them trying to take their socks off. So we leave Dothan and we drive down to my Uncle Wayne's house. Well, there's cars parked all up and down the street, so we have to walk down the street. Well, as we're walking up the driveway, there's a pickup truck in the driveway, and from behind it looks like somebody's passed out against the passenger window. I'm like, what the heck? I walk up next to the truck. In the passenger seat with a seatbelt on is a dead deer. You can't make that up. And the doors are locked. I go in the house, I said, what's the story with the deer in the truck? And my cousin Scott said, well, we hid it on the way over here, but I didn't want to leave it in the bed because I thought somebody might steal it. They think somebody's going to steal a deer at a family wedding. So we visit a while, and then they tell everybody to grab their lawn chairs. Well, we go out in the backyard where the ceremony is going to take place, and they have decided that the altar for the wedding is going to be the redwood deck of the above-ground pool. And the entire deck and pool are covered in colored Christmas lights. I leaned over to my brother, I said, wonder how long it took to put up the wedding decorations. He said, well, we were here 2 years ago and they were up then, so I don't think they ever come down. Well, my cousin Sherry comes out for the wedding, and she is wearing a snow white wedding dress. She is 8 months pregnant in a snow white dress. I'm looking for a big star or 3 guys riding camels up the driveway. My mother leans over and said, that's the same dress her mother got married in. I'm doing the math, and the only answer I can come up with is ho squared. So, oh, no, you can't start to laugh and then change your mind. No, he went, aww. Well, they finished the ceremony. The reception's right there in the same backyard. The guy that was the best man is now the DJ. He's wearing tuxedo pants with no shirt. He's lighting firecrackers with his cigarette, and he's throwing them at Sherry's grandmother's feet just to hear her cuss. And she's good. Sherry's mother, Donna, is walking around with a styrofoam cooler full of Ziploc bags of birdseed because she said Sherry read online that if you throw rice and the birds eat it, that when the birds drink water later, the rice expands and it'll kill them. So she wants people to throw birdseed, which we did. And to this day, I have not had the heart to tell her 2 hours after they left, her little brothers were in the front yard with pellet guns shooting the birds, eating the birdseed. Well, when they got in the car, most people just drive off, not my relatives. They get in Dustin's Camaro and proceed to do donuts in my Uncle Wayne's front yard. Third time around, her door flew open. I am standing next to her grandmother, who threw her beer on the ground and said, if this lasts 6 months, I'll kiss a good man's ass. So, Jeff, where do you come up with those redneck jokes?
To be going anywhere for a while. My wife ordered a bunch of travel magazines, and so one night I'm sitting at home flipping through one of her travel magazines, and I found an article in there that was written by a woman trying to teach other women how to pack for a 10-day trip using only a carry-on suitcase. Let me repeat that. A woman packing for 10 days using only a carry-on suitcase. And I thought, what woman is she talking about? Barbie? My wife couldn't pack for a nudist colony in a carry-on suitcase. And now the airlines only let you take one carry-on. Well, if I'm with my wife, she'll have 2, and I have whatever I can fit in my pockets. But I thought it was interesting because we live in an age where people try to make everything sexist, that this article was just written to women. She didn't say men. Because I think men could do 10 days in a carry-on. Could you do it? I could do it. You might be burning the socks and the underwear, but I could do it. Because I think most men probably pack like I pack. Like, I'll walk in my closet and I think, okay, I'm about to be out for 3 days. 3 days means 3 pairs of socks, 3 pairs of underwear, 3 shirts, another pair of blue jeans in case I spill something on these, toothbrush, razor blade, boom, ready to go. 10 seconds of well thought out packing. That's how I pack. Something about having numbers on the door seems to light her fire. The same girl that won't look at me twice at home, you get numbers on the door, she is hanging the trapeze before the bellhops to the ice machine. Love being on vacation with my wife. It's getting to vacation that is the challenge, because it takes my wife longer than 10 seconds to pack. It takes her days to pack because she has outfits. There's not a man in this room that has an outfit. But my wife has to put together an outfit for every day we're going to be gone, plus additional outfits in case we go out somewhere nice to dinner, plus reserve outfits in case some of the starters get hurt. So this takes a lot of time and work. So 2 or 3 days before we're even supposed to leave, my wife will start pulling clothes out of the closet, and she'll lay them on the bed like flat Stanley mannequins. And she just stares at them. Sometimes she'll call me and, come here, I need your help. Okay, I am down to these 2 outfits. Which one do you like the best? One on the left. Are you kidding me? What's wrong with the one on the right? Nothing wrong with it. I like that one on the left. I love that one on the right. You know what, now that I start thinking about it, I think I really like that one on the right. No, you don't. You're just saying that. Now, I don't know what to do. I know what to do. I'm going to go jump in front of a bus. You stand here and stare at this for a while. And see, the difference between us is once I have my clothes packed, I'm packed. With my wife, her clothes, that's just the foundation. Her packing is like an archaeological dig. There's many, many layers to it. Because once she has all the outfits picked out, now she has to go back and pick out the jewelry that goes with each particular outfit. If you watch court TV, that's what they call the jewelry selection process. I hope to God she never has to choose between her shoes and me. Because I could see the surgeon going, well, Miss Foxworthy, we can save Jeff's life. But in order to do it, you would have to get rid of all of your shoes. He said he wants to be cremated. I'm gonna need some new shoes for that ceremony. Next layer is the electronics. Because one time we went on vacation and the hotel didn't have a hairdryer. So now my wife never packs a suitcase without packing a hairdryer. But she also packs a hair curler and a hair straightener. I'm like, don't they cancel each other out? Then she will pack that lighted makeup mirror where one side has 12 times magnification. Nobody needs to look at their face magnified 12 times. At 12 times magnification, a wrinkle looks like an irrigation ditch. A blackhead looks like a manhole cover. And God forbid she find a chin hair. Trust me, you're not getting a girl out the door that sees something on her chin that looks like the anchor rope to a battleship. Do you know I have never, ever looked at my face in the 12 times magnification mirror? Okay, to be totally honest, a couple of times I did get out of the shower and pause in front of it just for a minute. Buenos dias phenomena. It's the just-in-case layer. Like she'll always pack a little raincoat and a travel umbrella just in case it rains. I'm like, baby, I checked the forecast. There's less than a 5% chance any day we're going to be there. Okay, fine. I don't know what you're going to do if it rains. I'm like, I do. I'll probably go back inside. She'll always pack a sweater or a light jacket just in case it gets cold at night, as it so often does in Orlando in July. Anybody else have a wife or girlfriend that does this one? My wife will pack like a collapsible soft-sided suitcase inside of the hard-sided suitcase. People pointing at each other. Just in case I buy something while we're there. And if you're a gambling man, take the over on my wife buying something while we're there. And I have never looked inside the collapsible suitcase, but I'm willing to bet there's a smaller collapsible suitcase inside of it. My wife always loads up a gallon Ziploc bag full of medicine just in case somebody gets sick. One time I was playing in Buffalo. It was like February. They had snow up to here. I had a little bit of a headache. I go unzip the medicine bag. We've got malaria pills. Thankfully missed the great malaria outbreak in Buffalo that winter. And I tell her, I say, baby, I love you to death. I said, this is where your packing just starts getting out of control. So the last time we were getting ready for vacation, I walked in the bedroom. I caught her rooting through my suitcase. She pulled out a 5-pound bag of oats. She's like, uh-huh. She goes, what is this for? I said, oh, that. I said, that is just in case the 2 donkeys we're going to need to carry your luggage get hungry while we're gone. And actually, she packs light for airline travel as opposed to their obligation to fill that SUV to the roof. And the way they pack a car would make a man lay on the floor and cry. They'll bring out a bag with bread and potato chips, put it on the bottom, then put 3 suitcases on top of it. I'm like, if you want me to live, please let me do this. Because there's an art to packing the car, is there not? My dad taught me, you do suitcase Tetris, flip them, spin them, turn them upside down. When he would get finished, you couldn't get a piece of notebook paper between anything in that vehicle. My dad could get a house full of furniture into the trunk of a Buick. Hold the jack, hand me the piano. I got this son of a gun now. And like my daddy, once I get that car packed, I'm ready to go. Not my wife. Oh no, we can't go yet. The car's packed, why can't we go? Because I got to straighten up the house. Wait, do what? Well, I'm not going to be able to have a good time if I know I'm going to be coming back to a messy house. Well, why didn't you straighten it up the last couple of days? Because I had to pack. Which in a nutshell is why men die before women. Because we want to. We have been married for 30, still doesn't understand that my primary objective when going on vacation in the car is to get to wherever we are going in the shortest recorded time in human history. That's all I'm trying to do. Now, I've learned through the years, my wife's objective on a vacation trip in the car is to consume enough liquid where she will have to pee every 15 minutes, therefore destroying my objective. And my wife will never have to go to the bathroom until we've just passed an exit. Then she's like, oh, I gotta go, and I gotta go really, really bad. I'm like, well, you will really, really get your chance in 44 miles because that's how far it is to the next exit. Well, she will not go between exits. And every man in this room has been between exits. Nobody had to teach us how to do it. We came out of the womb with this knowledge. You pull the car off the side of the road, you get out and you check the air in the right front tire. It's that easy, isn't it? And ladies, you could do this. Yes, you could change it from the right front to the right rear tire. This 5-year-old can use it. I remember what I got when I turned 5. The little wooden paddle with the rubber band and the red ball on the end of it. That was a brain builder. 1, 2, 3. I mean, no wonder we turned out this way. But everything changed with your generation. It's like when my girls were growing up. Every toy they ever got had a tag in it showing you somebody had inspected it to make sure there was no possible way a child could hurt themselves playing with that toy. I remember being 9 years old, my parents gave me a wood burning kit. Oh, what could possibly go wrong with a toy like that? A sharp metal stick that heated up to 5,000 degrees. And let me tell you something, our dogs and cats didn't have a little tag around their neck, but everybody in the neighborhood knew who they belonged to. The Circle F brand, that's Foxworthy cat right there. Anybody else have the swing set growing up? My parents were too lazy to dig a hole in the ground and buy a bag of concrete and pour it in the hole. So we had a swing set that anytime you swung above this high, the legs of it would go whoom, whoom, whoom. There were stuntmen that would not swing on our swing set. And some of the toys they gave us, like lawn darts. Somebody had 12-pound darts. You could kill an elk with a lawn dart. And there were no directions to them. They just came in a box of 8. We used to pull them out of the box, throw them straight up in the air. You catch one of those with your head, you're getting coloring books for Christmas for the rest of your life. And to this day, my mom gets upset if she sees me take a sip of wine. But when I was a child, she bought me model airplane glue by the bags full. I'm in my room trying to build models. I'm higher than AC/DC on the opening night of a new tour. Finally get the model put together, then my dad would give us firecrackers to blow them up with. And we knew they were safe because we had to drive across the state line to buy them from a man that had 3 fingers. Not on each hand, total 3 fingers. That's a good firecracker right there. You'll like that one. This guy can't operate a Bic lighter, but he's a demolitions expert. Remember when my girls were little, I had to buy latches to keep them out of the dishwashing detergent. My parents brought my brother and I a chemistry set. Mom, Joey put ammonium sulfate in my eye. Tell him I said stop. You boys go play with the wood burning kit. Better yet, go outside, get on the mini bike. But there are, like if there's a noise in the house in the middle of the night, whose job is it to go check it out? It's the man. You never see this. Phyllis, run downstairs, see what that noise was. Hey, bring me back a piece of chicken, okay? No, if there's a noise in the house in the middle of the night, it's the man checking it out. In his underwear, carrying a baseball bat. Because that is the official uniform of suspicious noises, underpants and a baseball bat. Don't know what we're hoping to find, some guy in the living room in his underwear with a ball. Yeah. And my dad didn't even need the baseball bat because my dad always wore those gigantic boxer shorts that were always gapped open in the front. That gap was like a taser to a thief. Shut the gap, shut the gap. Man, he looks familiar. That was it. Now you watch TV, somebody goes, what was that guy in? Somebody takes their phone and goes, he was the janitor on Joey. But I try to tell my daughters, and I try to tell you guys, there's a lot of things you can't Google. Google won't tell you everything. There's things you only learn through life experience. I call them the facts of life, things you can't Google. Like this, fact of life. If you are trying to get to the bathroom in an emergency situation, it is not a wise idea to unbutton your pants in transit in the effort to save a couple of seconds. Because the muscles that guard the floodgates will interpret the unbuttoning as the signal to abandon their post. And the 2 seconds you saved on the button are nullified by the hour and a half you spend mopping and doing laundry. And you only learn that the hard way. Google won't tell you that. Fact of life. Out of all of the cereals, Captain Crunch is the most time intensive. Here's what I'm talking about. You eat it too soon after you pour the milk on, and you will rip the roof of your mouth to shreds. You wait too long after you pour the milk on, and the captain will put a film on your teeth a wire brush can't get rid of. Google won't tell you that. Fact of life. You can have a wife with long, beautiful hair, or you can be on time. Can't have both. Fact of life, the more kids you have, the worse your parenting becomes. People that only have one child are making homemade baby food out of organic vegetables they're growing in their own backyard. Yeah, by the time that fourth kid rolls around, you're smoking a cigarette while you watch your toddler pull a year-old milk dud out from under the stove and eat it. Pick the cat hair off of it before you put it in your mouth, dummy. Fact of life, when you're driving down the road and you come up behind that old truck that's got like 13 wooden pallets stacked in the back of it, and they're held together by 2 ratty bungee cords, every one of us prays the same prayer. Dear God, don't let those bungee cords break until after I get around this guy. What happens to them, we don't really care, but I need to get around. Fact of life, flying on an airplane makes you gassy. Nobody ever acknowledges this. Nobody talks about this. No, we just all take our little roll-around suitcase and walk to baggage claim, popping them off like a trail horse. Okay, when I write this, I don't know if I'm the only one doing it or not. Got a few little giveaway laughs in this crowd. Fact of life. Who is that? I'm not flying with you. Fact of life. Women always have more questions than men have answers to. Great example. 6, 7 months ago, I get a text one day. The text said, "Please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck." I walked through the house. I find my wife. I said, "Hey," I said, "I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck." She said, "Was he driving?" I said, I don't know. I just got a text that please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, were Carol and the kids in the car with him? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, were the people in the other car hurt too? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, did they even have insurance? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, what hospital did they take him to? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, you don't know anything. What do you know? I said, I know you need to pray for Tom. I just got a text that he was in a bad wreck. And she started getting mad at me. And I said, honey, I said, let me tell you something. When I was growing up, there was no chance we had a $5 pet that was going to see the inside of a veterinarian's office. Very few of our pets went to the veterinarian. You know what happened to our pets? They ran away. I remember one time my brother and I found this dog and we brought him home, and that dog barked all night long for the first 3 nights we had him. Then on the 4th day, while we were at school, he ran away. We had a cat that started clawing my mother's curtain. She ran away. I remember having goldfish that ran away. But my wife was like, oh no, she said, Herman is our pet, he's our responsibility, I'll take him to the vet. And she did. She took that $5 hamster to the vet. And $65 later, Herman's hair is still falling out. And I said, $65? We could have bought 13 new Hermans for $65. I said, when your medical bills are 13 times what you're worth, either you are really, really cheap or you are really, really sick. I said, let's put it this way. I said, let's say your grandmother went to the doctor and they told her it was going to take $13 million to make her well. I said, you cannot look me in the eye and tell me there's not a chance. We'd be calling the kids downstairs going, girls, sit down. We've got some bad news. Meemaw has run away. As one of those people starting to laugh at it, then they remember there were homonyms and synonyms and antonyms. She said, I can't remember the difference in them. Can you use it in a sentence? My Aunt Nim came over for Christmas dinner. I know nothing. I'm an idiot. In fact, when I started hosting that show, I started making a list of all the things I didn't know, and it was like the never-ending list. Like, I don't know how they know how long to make the cord for the first bungee jump at a new place. It's like, all right, Ed, let him jump. All right, Ed, shorten it up a little bit. Give his girlfriend a free t-shirt. I don't know why the dentist makes you lie to him. Every time I go to the dentist, he'll be looking at my mouth. He's like, oh, you have not been flossing every day, have you? No, not every day. Yeah, let me think. The last time I flossed, you did it. I don't know how women can lie down on the couch and take a nap without sticking their hand in the top of their pants. How do y'all do that? See, men have a sleep button located right below our navel. We put our hand on that button and I don't know who closes the door when the bus driver gets off. Don't think about that. That'll give you a headache. I don't know why the bank leaves the vault door wide open, but chains the 20. Remind me to put my slippers on in the morning. And you do want to put your slippers on. because you find that with your bare foot, you don't need coffee, because you are awake and looking for a cat. And my wife, bless her heart, she has to clean it up every time. And it's not that I haven't tried, I have. It's just every time I get near it, I make the same noises the cat makes. We were at some kind of film festival. I had all my girls with me, and as always, when you have girls, they have to pee a lot, and they all win at the same time. I don't know why they all go together. I think they have a seesaw or something in there that requires more than one person, So I'm standing out in the lobby waiting on them, and I notice a table from the Atlanta Mission. And so to kill time, I walk over and look at one of their brochures, and it's a homeless shelter in Atlanta. And I realized in reading it, oh, it's a faith-based place. And the guy was sitting there, and he said, you need to come down and have lunch with me sometime. And I wrote his phone number down on it, and I'm like, yeah, well, I might. But I'd spent my life doing fundraising for kids with cancer and all. I'd never done anything with homeless people. And in fact, this is the way I dealt with homeless people. When they came up to the window, I would reach and go, do I have $5? So they would go away. If I'm going to be honest with you, that's what I did. So he invited me down, and I asked him the first day, I said, why do you really want me here? I figured he wanted me to do a free concert or something and raise money for them, or to do their commercials on the radio or TV. And he said, no, I just wanted you to come down and meet some of the guys. Well, the first guy that sat down at our table was this 21-year-old kid named Jason. And I love knowing people's stories. That's where comedy comes from to me, is real life. And I said, Jason, what's your story? I said, you're 21. Why are you in a homeless shelter? And Jason said to me, well, he said, it was me, my brother, my mom, and my dad. And when I was 11 years old, my mom killed herself. He said, 2 years after that, my brother killed himself. And it was me and my dad. In my second year of college, my dad killed himself. And he said, I got to the point where I couldn't hurt anymore, and I started smoking crack. Flunked out of school, and that's how I'm on the street. And y'all, as I'm sitting there looking at this kid, I'm thinking, crap, I would have started smoking crack too. How much hurt can a human heart take? And I found from getting to know these guys, that was almost always the case. That the addiction, whatever it was, alcohol or drugs, that was a symptom. The cause was some kind of hurt they couldn't get over. I mean, so many of these people had been sexually violated or physically violated, and they just had a hurt they couldn't get past. And so a couple of weeks later, Joshua, the guy that invited me down, he said, you keep asking why I invited you down, I'm going to tell you. He said, I want you to lead a small group. These guys have never had a small group in their life, and I think you'd be a great leader for it. And I said, Joshua, there's 6 million people in Atlanta. You can't find a better person than me to do this? And y'all, this is the only thing we can do for God. This is the only thing we can do for God. It's when he whispers to us to say yes. That's how humbling it is. The only thing we can do is when he whispers. And God doesn't yell. I was reading a verse the other day, said there was a great earthquake, and then there was a great fire, and then there was a still quiet voice. That's God. That's the still quiet voice. God doesn't yell. That's why he tells you, be still and know. When I think about the Holy Spirit, I had somebody describe the Holy Spirit to me one time. Is the Holy Spirit's kind of timid and doesn't say a whole lot. The Holy Spirit just always points to Jesus. It's like, so when the Spirit's talking to you about something, he's like, that's what he does to me. And so I said yes. I had no training. I'd been in a small group for years, but these are homeless guys. And I will tell you this about homeless people. Once you start learning their stories and they become somebody's son and somebody's brother and somebody's dad, the way you look at them totally changes. So I started leading this group, and in a tip of the hat to Chick-fil-A, I had to buy chicken biscuits just to get them to come. They wouldn't come unless I had chicken biscuits. So I had 12 guys, started with me and 12 guys. And they didn't really participate. They didn't talk a lot. So I was trying to think of questions for them. And one of my early questions, I said to them, I said, what is the Bible? And one of the guys said, it's just a book of rules. And I'm thinking, no, it's the greatest love story that's ever been written. So he said, it's a book of rules. And my buddy that was sitting there with me, he goes, really? He said, it's a book of rules. And he picked up his Bible and there was a trash can there and he dropped it in there. He said, if it's a book of rules, would that bother you? And one of the guys, the guy in the class that I was scared to death of, big, huge guy named Wayne, got up, walked over and he pulled that thing out of the trash can and he wiped it off. And he said, don't ever do that again. I said, well, Wayne, if it's a book of rules, why does that bother you so much? And Wayne said, let me tell you a story. He said, when my mother died, he said, I inherited $70,000 from an insurance policy. He said, I'd never had money in my life. He said, and I lost my mind. He said, we started buying crack. I got 2 girlfriends and we started partying all day long. He said, and when you're partying like that, you don't go to work. So I got fired about a week later. He said, but we didn't care. We had money and we were partying. And he said, 2 months later, I got evicted out of my apartment. He said, so I had my stuff in some suitcases and backpacks. He said, and we just moved to cheap hotels and we're partying day and night. He said, but as we're moving around, I'm losing my stuff piece by piece. And he said, the only thing that I had from my mother was a Bible that she gave me when I was a little kid. And on the front page on the inside, she had written this love letter to me, telling me about how Jesus was the answer. He said, and as we're bouncing around, I realized I've lost the backpack that had that Bible in it. He said, this goes on for a few more months and then the money runs out. He said, next day the 2 girlfriends leave. And now I don't have an apartment, I don't have a job, I've got a crack habit, and I'm on the street. He said, I'm on the street for a year and a half, living on the street, begging people for money, still got my crack habit. He said, and this guy came by one day and he picked 2 of us, said he needed help with a project. Wayne being a big, strong guy, he picked Wayne and another guy and he took them to a place about 100 miles away where this guy had bought an old apartment building, 2-story apartment building. He was cleaning it out. He was going to refurbish it and rent the apartments. So Wayne said, I started on the bottom. My buddy started on the top. He said, I got all my stuff cleaned up, bagged up, and put it in the dumpster. He said, and I went upstairs to help my buddy, and he was down to the last room. He said, but out in the hall, he had a pile of stuff in the corner. I'm like, dude, you want me to bag that stuff up? And the guy said, well, those are things I found that might be worth something if you want to look through it before we bag it up. And Wayne said he went over there and started looking through the stuff, and he reaches down in the dust and the dirt and he pulls the book out and he opens it up, and there's the love letter from his mom. It's his Bible. A year later, year and a half later, and 100 miles away. And he said, I collapsed to the floor and started sobbing. If you put that in a Hollywood movie, nobody would believe it. And he said, I figured if God was going to chase me that hard, I would finally quit running. But y'all, that's the God we serve. That's how much he loves us. The vision correction surgery, the billboard claimed that they have the cheapest LASIK in town. And I'm thinking, if you're going to be operating on my eyeballs with a laser beam, I don't want the cheapest in town. I want somebody that takes a little pride in their work. I don't want to be walking around hanging on to a German Shepherd by a harness bragging, I just saved a bundle on my LASIK surgery. And if they decided to go with cheapest in town, what slogan did they pass up? Hey, some of our patients actually kind of see a little bit better. If it doesn't work, think of the money you'll save on light bulbs. I mean, I like saving money. I just don't think medical procedures are where you want to do it. I don't want the cheapest vasectomy in town. Climbing into a truck behind a convenience store and the guy going, you got the 20 bucks? All right, listen, bite down on this rag so you don't scream.
I can't have the neighbors calling the police again. And a couple of slogans with a vasectomy I wouldn't want to hear, like half off. Buy one, get one free. I don't even know how that would work. Everything must go. No, most of it better be staying, Rufus. I am thrilled to be not qualified, but this time around it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh my gosh. Well, here's the deal. I mean, like all of y'all, I watch this stuff every day, and it amuses me that all these candidates, they just keep promising people more and more and more. And as I watch it, I think that's not really the problem that we have in America. We don't need more. We have so much stuff now, we can't even enjoy the people we love. What we need is more common sense. And seriously. So if I was running, what I would do is use some common sense and start taking away some of the stupid stuff we don't need. I'd call them no mores. Day number 1, no more picking up dog poop. It's embarrassing. We are the top of the food chain. No other animal picks up another animal's poop. Monkeys pick up their own and throw it, but they're kind of the comedians of the animal world. And they're just trying to make the school kids laugh. But they have a rule in my neighborhood. If you walk your dog and your dog does his business in somebody else's yard, you need to get a little plastic bag, pick it up, and dispose of it. So you drive through my neighborhood and there's all these attractive women walking around with poo-poo purses. And I know the dogs are confused. The dog's like, wait a minute, you're taking it back home? Why did we have to walk 3 blocks? I could have pooped in the living room, saved us both some embarrassment. What a stupid rule. Why would they have us pick it up? It's fertilizer. It makes the grass grow. Lord, it's not like some child is going to step in it. A kid hadn't played in the yard since 1982. You know what's sad? We have an entire generation that has no idea how to get dog poop off the bottom of their shoe. But when I was growing up, we played in the yard every day, and every day somebody stepped in dog poop. And when it was your turn, you knew what to do about it. You would hobble over to the curb and scrape the biggest part off on the edge of the curb. Then you would find a puddle and you would swirl the bottom of your shoe around in the puddle. Then limp over to the grass and do the brush stroke back and forth. Then you would find a little bitty piece of stick and you would sit down on the curb and you would pick it out of the zigzag pattern on the bottom. Then you wore those shoes to church the next day. No more breast reduction surgeries. I mean, why should I be penalized just because your back hurts? Come on. Take an Advil, for crying out loud. No more commercials where some law group is trying to get somebody to sue somebody else. We are the most sue-happy nation on earth, which is why our car insurance is so expensive, which is why our medical insurance is so expensive, all the lawsuits. And it started with cars. Have you been in a car accident? Do you know someone that's been in a car accident? Have you ever heard about a car accident? Now it's everything. Has a woman with a vaginal mesh implant given you the prescription drug fen-phen, which caused you to develop mesothelioma? If so, you could be owed billions. I just remember that happened to me last summer.
Come down here and presented me with the key to the 24-hour fitness. So I thought that was pretty cool, but it's kind of it's a cool anniversary for me tonight. This is a double anniversary. This is my 27th year in the comedy business. And thank you. Remain seated. And it's my 5th year being funny, so I'm excited about both of them, all right? They're both really cool, so we're gonna enjoy it. I guess I gotta do this before I go any further, I suppose. Get her done. Get her done. That's been around a long time. I remember the first thing I ever sold that had Get Her Done on it was in Florida. Get Her Done condoms. There was 3 sizes: get her, and get her done. All right, that was it. But they say get her done everywhere. That's pretty awesome. I remember, this is how they say get her done in China. Not kidding. This is how they say get her done in Nairobi. I ain't kidding, Google it, all right? You know, this brings back so many cool memories. The last time I was here, the governor of Minnesota come down here and presented me with the key to the 24-hour fitness. So, I thought that was pretty cool, but it's kind of it's a cool anniversary for me tonight. This is a double anniversary. This is my 27th year in the comedy business. And thank you. Remain seated. And it's my 5th year being funny, so I'm excited about both of them, all right? They're both really cool, so we're gonna enjoy it. I guess I gotta do this before I go any further, I suppose. Get her done. Get her done. That's been around a long time. I remember the first thing I ever sold that had Get Her Done on it was in Florida. Get Her Done condoms. There was 3 sizes: get her, and get her done. All right, that was it. But they say get her done everywhere. That's pretty awesome. I remember, this is how they say get her done in China. Not kidding. This is how they say get her done in Nairobi. I ain't kidding, Google it, all right? When I hunt, I do it a little different than most people. When I hunt, I dress all in orange from head to toe, and I hunt down by the interstate. That way the deer just think I'm a prisoner picking up trash out there. For y'all that don't hunt, did you know this? Did you know a deer gets a new rack every year, just like the Kardashians? Did you know that's true right there? I had a buddy of mine got in trouble. He was hunting. He called me up and says, I'm in jail. I said, what's wrong? He says, I don't know. The game warden put me in jail. It's ridiculous. I said, what'd you do? He says, nothing. I shot 2 wild turkeys. He put me in jail. He can't do it just, no, I shot 2 wild turkeys. He put me in jail. He's a communist. I'm gonna go down and see what happened. I go down there about to raise a fuss. Turns out he did 2 shots of wild turkey and accidentally shot the game warden. All right, that's what happened. And his cousin was in a car accident. His face is all disfigured. And he told me the other day, I'm the ugliest man in the world. I just want to kill myself. And I said, come on now, you ain't either. So I wanted to cheer him up. So I run him up to Walmart for a few hours. And it worked. Turns out he's the 37th ugliest man in the world. So there's some ugly folks in my Walmart. What the hell? Remember that website, the people of Walmart? Remember that? I always thought that was hilarious till I wound up on the site last year. Pissed me off. The one time a year I go to Walmart shopping wearing that pink unitard, they're snapping pictures in there for the damn deal. I shouldn't say there's fat, big folks at my Walmart, but I will say this. Yesterday, the junior miss department just put in a potato bar. All right, I'll say that much. They got some crazy shoppers up there, too. Hey, you want to see some crazy shoppers? Have yourself a daggum garage sale. I had one garage sale, never again. Woman comes up, she goes, boy, I like these boots. You got these in a size 6? Oh, no, let me run in the back and check my inventory on these boots. All right. And you never seen more cheap folks in your life than at a garage sale. Guy comes up, he says, how much is this? I go, $1. He goes, does it work? It's $1. What the hell? Do you work? Well, what the hell? Here's the guy that really pisses you off, this guy. How much is this? 50 cents. I'll give you a quarter. I'll give you a dime to get the hell off my property, all right? I swear, they're so cheap. You could have put a $10 bill on the table. Somebody offer you 75 cents for that $10 bill on there. Here's one thing I learned about a garage sale. Never invite your relatives, because they'll see all the gifts they got you the last 25 years up there at that table. Hey, is that watch I got you last year? Shoot, no. That watch you got me, I keep in the safe deposit box at the bank. Are you shitting me? You know, a lot of people don't got a Casio watch with a calculator on it like that no more. Another 5,000 years, that'd be worth $200-300 right there. That's something else. People nuts when it come to shopping. I remember one time I had a couch I couldn't get rid of, so I put that on the curb, said free to take. Daggum thing sat there 10 days. So when I put a sign on it, for sale, $2,500. Daggum thing got stole that night. I hate shopping, especially the grocery store. I always get recognized up there. I hate going up. 2 weeks ago, I went up there. Took 2 hours to get the hell out of there. Caused commotion. So my wife says to me the other day, hey, let's go up to the grocery store. I don't want to go. I'm going to stay home. Oh, come on, go to the grocery store with me. I don't want to go to the grocery store. Oh, you think you're going to get recognized? You think you're so all right, I'll go to the daggum grocery. Sure enough, as soon as I walk in there's the bag boy. Hey, there's that guy that was playing with himself in the produce department 2 weeks ago. Right there, I told you I didn't want to come in here. There's summer last 48 minutes. All right, I ain't kidding with you. I was just up there. I ain't kidding with you. You could have played this little piggy with my nipples when I was up there. My wiener was like a bear. It went into hibernation for 3 days. I ain't kidding. I could have flashed a cop and not gotten in trouble. I'm not kidding with you. You should have seen it. Looked like a helmet sitting on shrubbery if you looked real good at it. I wish my nipples and this would get together on the weather. My nipples love cold weather. My wiener hates it. I mean, it's cold. They're like, yeah. You know, he's like, ah. He's sucked up in there. It's embarrassing. I went to moon my cousin. Looked like I was pooping a mushroom. All right, I'm not kidding with you. Don't laugh at that. That's not even funny. I don't even know why you're laughing at that. Flipping freezing there. Remember I was there, the bed bugs at the hotel called the front desk and requested extra blankets. All right, I couldn't believe it. And I hate cold weather. I live in Nebraska. You talk cold. You know how cold it was Thanksgiving in Nebraska? This is a true story. There's a knock on my door, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was a turkey wanting to borrow my deep fryer. All right, I ain't kidding with you. It was freezing. My dog licked himself and got his tongue stuck. It was freezing. I had to wipe with an ice scraper. All right, they're not all funny, but they're in a row. All right, how's that? So I'm going for quantity, not quality here this evening, is what you have. I like warm weather. That's what I like. Bring on that global warming. That's what I say. People get nuts over that, don't they? Man-caused global. We need to do something about the way we live and we heating up the earth. Oh, shut up. Well, you seen what happened in Washington, D.C.? 27 inches of snow. Explain that. All right, February. How's that? I ain't Nostradamus, but I have a guess what's going to happen in July, too. Hot. All right, it's going to be hot in July. I mean, it's stupid. I got a buddy of mine. Well, you go ahead and laugh. The Earth's heated up 0.7 of a degree in the last 100 years. Oh, well, what the hell? Go home and stab yourself in the face, then. End it, all right? Just end it if it's that bad. How many people have ever gone outside in 100-degree weather and said, boy, I'll tell you what, it feels 3/4 of a degree hotter out here this year than it did last year. There's something going on in this country. I like that warm weather. I don't like humidity, though. I lived in Florida for a long time, and you get to sticking down here good tonight. I had to shoot baby powder up there about every 3 minutes. I was down there in Florida. My mom had to make me a pair of boxer shorts out of a ShamWow when I was down there. I couldn't believe it. It was so hot in Florida one time, my grandpa replaced his hemorrhoidal suppositories with dilly bars. Dilly bars. This show should have been $300 a piece. All right, I'm telling you right now, that's a $300 joke right there. But it's hot in Florida in the summer. I remember in August one time I had a buddy of mine about 420 pounds. He'd leave my Target with a little plastic kiddie pool. I said, you ain't gonna fit in that to be cool. He said, no, the game's on. That's for bean dip.